What's going on, guys? It's Brandon Lewis here with the Tennessee Conservative, and we're going to do a little fireside chat, about school choice. You know, you're going to hear over the next few weeks and months a lot of ballyhoo about this Educational Freedom Act. Bill Lee is going to put the full court press on with his PR folks. You're going to see all kinds of stuff on social media. They'll probably do some paid advertising. William Lambert and Jack Johnson are going to come out and they're going to tell you this is the best thing since sliced bread. And so as all the hullabaloo comes out and as the liberal media completely castigates this bill as being the worst thing that ever came into existence, I want you as conservatives in Tennessee to know what's actually in the stinking bill. Okay? So here, we're going to do a top line view of it. And if you really want to know what's in it, Adelia Kirchner did a great job summarizing the whole bill and talking about the historical ramifications of it, etc., what was put in the last time. You can go on our website and look for it. I will post the full article below this live video once it's posted. So if you want to dig a little deeper, and I may read the whole thing to you, I don't know. But if you want to dig a little deeper, once this is over, look below the video, you'll find a link. So here's some of the big facts about this Educational Freedom Bill, okay? First off, it's going to be available to 20,000 students. That is a whopping 1.9%. So if you think your kids are going to get anything out of this, boy, you'd be better off just going to pay the lottery and play the lottery and see if your kids can get a private education through your winnings down at the gas station. That would be my recommendation to you. Seriously, you'd probably get a lot better off. Starting in 2026, this is something I just think is hilarious. Starting in 2026, applications, if they outstrip availability. Now, previously, if I'm not mistaken, we had school vouchers and nobody even applied for them enough to get it done. It was like anemic, terrible. But they spent all this money publicizing vaccines and masks and everything else, but they didn't do a very good job pushing the vouchers. But here's the kicker. If there's more demand, then they're going to release, hold on, 5,000 scholarships a year. Now, what does that mean for you and your family if they release 5,000 scholarships a year? Well, looking online, there's about 1,6,700 students, thereabouts, in public schools all over Tennessee, which means that if they release every year 5,000 scholarships, that in 197 years, sorry, got my numbers mixed up. In 197 years, everyone in Tennessee will have school choice in 197 years. That if we don't have any population increase now. Is there any population increase? It could be 250 years, 300 years, we don't know. The scholarship amount is $7,000, which means that we're going to spend about $14 million on this program. $14 million. And if you want to know where our priorities are, do you know how much we spend educating illegal aliens in Tennessee? Somewhere between 600 and 700 million. So we'll spend 140 million on native-born Tennessee citizens to get a good education, but we'll spend 600 to 700 million educating illegal aliens. And illegal aliens, reading the bill, are completely eligible for this scholarship. Now, legislation has been previously brought to stop education of illegal alien children in Tennessee, and Republicans have killed it in committee every time. So think about that. That's food for thought. It really warms you up. All the teachers, regardless of their performance, if you're down in some urban school or rural school where only 4, 5, 6% of your kids are at grade level, you're going to get a $2,000 raise. You're going to get a $200,000 raise. It's going to cost us $128 million to do that. This is Bill Lee's way of buying off the teachers, so hopefully some of them keep their mouths shut. It's kind of like a damping mechanism, I suppose. And I'm going to get into why I think some of this stuff probably will not work here at the end. But $128 million, and if you add that to $140 million, that ends up coming up to about $168 million that we're going to put into this. Now, here's another kicker. When people opt into this, it takes no money out of the school systems. So now, instead of paying what's roughly with federal dollars and everything all in, about $12,000 per student in Tennessee, now we're going to pay $19,000. Well, that's good. That should really help. That should show those public schools that are failing, if they get to keep all their money even when the students leave. Yeah, that's going to really change things. And, if you're a homeschool parent, you get nothing. Nothing whatsoever. There's not even a chance for you. Not even a chance. And if you make more than a certain amount of money, which isn't that much, the chances of you ever getting this are like done. Now, you can pay the taxes, right? You can pay your fair share of taxes. You can pay more taxes than anybody else. And because you're productive and because you pay your taxes and because you pay an exorbitant amount of taxes to fund other kids' educations, you are personally penalized and you can't participate. Okay? That's just how it is. Don't be mad at me. I cannot see anything in this that will practically change education in Tennessee. Nothing that addresses the failing public schools. Not a thing. Nothing. And the amount of students that are going to get this are so minuscule, and the way it's going to roll out so slow, it's almost pointless. Now, Trump, for homeschool parents, is proposing a $10,000 per year tax deduction. Bill Lee is proposing that you be left out entirely. So, homeschool community, the Republicans are really pulling for you, right? Private schools accepting the funds will have to meet the government's testing requirements. Now, they don't hold their own public schools accountable to testing requirements, and there are no penalties whatsoever if schools fail. Everybody gets a raise. They get to keep the money. But the private schools will be tested because they got to make sure, right? We got to make sure that this money's going to a good, sound place. Meanwhile, we're wasting all this other stuff, about half of our tax dollars on this broken system. So that's what's in this thing. There's a lot of other stuff I could read through. But as I look at it, I'm like, we kicked conservatives out of office for not supporting this. Bill Lee and a lot of Republican groups and school choice groups and AFP went after conservatives for not supporting what is now like it is almost a do-nothing, big expense, put more money into government education. Hardly anybody's going to benefit from it bill. So all the ruckus, all the noise that we made, and all the fight that is about to come, and it will be a fight, is for this. So most of you don't know this, but I am a professional educator by trade. You see all the rhinos online, and the people like Jeremy Faison, and people like I forget some of their names, but nonetheless, I didn't say I'm in this for the money. Like the Tennessee conservative barely gets by, right? I make my money running a professional school in the private sector. That's what I make my money doing, and I have made a good deal of money doing it. And we continue to grow. Our clients are happy. They are successful. If they weren't, I'd be out of business. I wouldn't get a raise if I didn't do a good job. Now, the thing that kills me as a professional educator, one of the few talking about this in conservative spaces, you show me a school where teachers are not incentivized or penalized for poor performance, where you don't have to listen to the clients at all. Doesn't make a difference. I don't like my kid's class schedule. I don't like what's being taught. Oh, talk to your school board. Might as well go bang your head against a wall. They don't give a rip. This is about a government bureaucracy and a babysitting center that graduates functionally illiterate kids after 13 years and over $144,000 to probably $160,000 flushed down the toilet in many cases. So when you have no incentive and you have no structure, and when you can't lose any funding, you run a school and it doesn't matter how bad you do it, you're still going to get pumped money, you're still going to get raises. How is that school ever going to turn around or improve? It can't. It can't. The incentive structure is abso-freaking-lutely broken. Now, TNGOP leadership has zero appetite for reforming education in a way that's going to help your kids. The moment the public schools and the government bureaucrats start coming up, once the swamp starts shaking around a little bit, boy, they just flee. They'll roll out some kind of good sounding program. They'll pour a bunch of money into something else, and the scores stay the same, the satisfaction stays the same. And honestly, schools typically get worse. And the only way you can get halfway decent government education in Tennessee is to make a bunch of money and move to the one school district that's in a suburban area around a metro area and try to get your kids in it. Zip code school choice. Got to buy your way into it. So when the incentives are broken, nothing's going to change. And here's what, pardon my language, pisses me off. I have paid into the tax system in Tennessee for 22 years. Half of my money that I've paid in sales tax, property tax, business tax, all the taxes, have gone to government schools that I cannot in good conscience send my children to and will not. And I want my money back. I want something like what Trump proposes. Bill Lee, Jack Johnson, William Lambert. Instead of a 50,000 page bill that's got nothing in it that anybody really wants that's going to cause a big stink, just give people that take their kids out of these failing government schools a tax break or a rebate in some fashion. It's better than nothing. I know for many people it wouldn't amount to much, but it's cleaner, it's simpler, it's easier. People could agree on it. It would be great. Follow Trump's example. No, we can't do that. So that's what's in this thing. I'm going to post the big, huge article underneath it. I thought I was going to read it to you, but I read it myself. And as I read it myself, it was so damn depressing, and there was so little in there that was going to benefit Tennessee parents, that I think the best thing we can do is actually get some use out of this bill and warm up my office. It's what it is, man. I don't make the news, I just bring it to you. And you know that it's good professional news because I'm here in a t-shirt and sweatpants bringing it to you. Because I'm the corporate media, right? I'm the professional corporate media. Suit and tie, film at 11. Next advertisement brought to you by Pfizer, Ford Motor Company, and Tennessee Titans. No collusion there, telling you the truth, right? So guys, look into the bill. Put your comments below this. And one final appeal. Many of you who follow me trust me for your news, and I appreciate that. I take that obligation very seriously. I want you to copy this Twitter link and send it to your elected officials. If you know a state rep, a state senator, email it to them, text it to them, those of you who know them personally. Send it to Bill Lee's office. Send the podcast. If you listen on podcast, you can copy a share link. Send this to your elected officials and just ask a simple question. Hey, I listened to Brandon Lewis talk about what's actually in this bill. Where is he right and where is he wrong? And why don't y'all do something different? Do something different that would actually benefit people. That would be my suggestion. Guys, Brandon Lewis here with the Tennessee Conservative News. I'm sorry I got to this so late. I've been meaning to talk to you about it for a while. We're going to put this in the newsletter. We're going to put it on the podcast and everything else. Share it around for everyone who's going to be confused. And your elected officials, in many cases that are in leadership, are going to try to bamboozle you about what this is and what it means and how awesome it is. The numbers just don't support it. They don't support it. The outcomes that it can possibly produce can't be very good. Does not even begin to approach the main things that are wrong with education in Tennessee. Doesn't give you any unfettered options. And so the government's taking your tax dollars, grudgingly giving it back to a small group. And then with the tax dollars they're giving you back, they're attaching strings. And there are a few now, and there will be a bazillion later because with the government funds it runs. So I can't support this bill with any enthusiasm the way it's written, and I don't think you should either. That's just my humble opinion. Brandon Lewis here with the Tennessee Conservative News, bringing you the news the mainstream media never will. Until next time, signing off. Share this around, guys. See you next time. Maybe I won't see you next time if I can't close this thing off. We may just have to hang out here for a while. All right, seriously, send this around. Take care.